Good day everyone. In this video, I'm going to discuss another data type which is string. So we have used already a string on our previous video. Now I am going to create a variable, let's say string1 is equal to my email is space and another variable which is string2 is equal to francis at gmail.com. All right, so there are two statements now, and before we proceed, strings are inside of quotes. It can be single quote or double quote. I will explain it to you later, the difference of the single quote and the double quote, okay? So let's try first to print our first variable. Let's put here the echo function and the variable string1. Then let's save it and run this program. So as you can see, the variable here was now shown on the screen. Okay, so we can write any type of characters in the inside of this string, like for example here. So any kind of characters inside of this code. So let's save this and run this program. So it will show the actual character on the string on the screen. Okay, any kind of character you will be adding to the character, it doesn't matter. Okay, so let's remove this one. So what if we combine these two strings together? In order to do that, we will be using a string concatenations. We're going to combine these two variables or these two strings by using a dot. Like for example, here the echo string one. Let's put here the dot. And let's say we will going to add another variable because we're going to join them together, string 2. And let's save this program and run our program on the screen. So as you can see, the two variables has joined together. Okay, so what if we're going to put a space between them, like here and here? Then let's save this and run our program. So as you can see, it has exactly the same thing. It can concatenate these two things or join them together. Okay, so let's try another example. I'm gonna say variable name is equal to Francis. Let's try to put here the echo function, and this time we will be using a single quote. Let's say, hey, my name is. Then, outside of this ending single quote, we will be going to put here a dot to concatenate a variable, which is the variable name. Then semicolon. Then let's try to put a comment here. We don't need this. And this time I will be explaining to you what will happen if we will using a single quote and double quote. Then let's try to run this program. Save first and run our program. So as you can see, the string was concatenated with the variable. Okay, you can use a space here, save and run the program to have a space there. Okay, so let's go back and we will put a comment here. So this time I will be explaining to you what will happen if we will using a single quote and double quote. Now the difference is when we use a double quote, like here, we can directly output variable inside them instead of concatenate them. Okay, so let's try, hey, my name is, and inside of this string, we will be going to add a variable name. Let's end here the statement with semicolon. So we will not using a dot to concatenate this one. By using the double quote, you can directly show your output inside of this string. Okay? So when the PHP will read this, it will say, okay, I will replace this value of the variable Francis. So if I echo this now, then we'll try to save this and run our program. the value was printed on the screen, okay, by using the double quote. But if you were trying to change this quote into a single quote, let's try a single quote here, save, then it should not work. Let's try to run this program. So as you can see, your variable was shown on the screen, and this is not correct, right? Because your variable here has actually show on the screen. Okay, so let's comment this one. The next code I will be going to show you is on how to escaping characters inside the string. Like for example, echo, we will be using double quote, the ninja scream. And let's add another double quote. And inside of this double quote, I will be putting a word wa and another double quote here, semicolon. Okay, so what's gonna happen? I want this to be in close because I want to say someone was saying something. But if we save this and we're going to run this program, then it will not show what we expect. It will give you a parse error. Okay? So is it because you are enclosing the ninja script by this double quote and say wa after it? So instead of doing this, we will escape the characters. In order to do that, we will write a backslash before the second quote and the last quote. So like this one, backslash and here another backslash. As you can see, it become purple, right? It says that we will be going to escape this inside of this string. So if we save this and run our program, then this will work. Okay? And another alternative to this, like for example, is we're going to use a single quote. Okay? Let's try to comment here. Echo single quote the ninja scream and let's say wa. Okay, so this code is also good because you are trying to print this actual screen on the screen and we have no variable there, right? So let's save this and run our program. So as you can see, it has the same thing. Okay, but remember guys that we will not using a single quote if we were going to put here a variable inside of this string. Okay? So the next code I'm going to show you is on how to get a certain character out of the string. So let's comment here. And like for example, I wanted to find the third character, which is over here, or the seventh character, which is over here. Okay? So the way we do that is by using the square bracket notation. Let's say echo name, or sorry, the variable name, and I am using a bracket. And if we will be going to find the first character, then let's start with 0. If you were expecting 1, then it will show you the second character, right? Because the programming language is followed by a zero-based format. So meaning the first index here is always a 0, and the second one is 1, the third is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so let's save this program. Let's put here the semicolon as our ending statement. Don't forget that. And let's run this program. So as you can see, the first index was shown on the screen by using the 0 is equivalent to 1 for the human language. Okay? So 0, here the 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. So like for example, we are going to put here the 6, then it will show you the S. Save and run this program, then it will show you the S. Okay? So the next thing I'm gonna show you is the few string function. So functions are like a bit of codes that do thing. There's a lot of functions installed in PHP that we can use out of the box. And we can use function by writing function name and then add a parenthesis or brackets at the end. So for example, I could use a function called strlen, len, sorry, and parenthesis or the string length. And using this, you will be able to find the length of your string forest. Now, a lot of functions taken arguments right here in this parenthesis is when we call them. Like for example, an argument is just a value. Okay, so or it means we are passing a value, and that is an argument. So what we have to do is to tell this function in which string we will find the length. Okay, so like for example, this variable name, or we can write here the variable name. Okay, then let's echo this one. So it says echo string length of name. So let's save and run it. Refresh. So as you can see, the 7 has shown on the screen. Why? Because the length of my string has a 7 characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay? So the next thing is I'm going to show you another function, and this is the echo. Let's comment here. Echo. We will be using string to upper. It says that we will be going to create an uppercase to the variable. Like for example, the variable name, I will be going to uppercase these characters. And let's try to run this program. Then this works. Okay? Then another one is the echo string to lower. And let's say we're going to define the variable, which is the name or the variable name. And in order to view the run program, we will be going to uppercase this first character so we can show the changes on the screen. Okay, so let's save this and run this program. So as you can see, the variable name has replaced into a lowercase. Then another one, let's say echo string underscore replace. And what this does is replace certain things in a string forest. So for example, I want to replace the I into a letter E. So in order to do that, we will be going to add 3 arguments inside of this parenthesis. Okay, so using the replace function. And these arguments are follows. First of all, I will be using a single quote here. So what kind of characters we will be going to replace? So as for my example, I want to replace the I as our first argument, then comma, and the second parameter, another single quote, and this is I want to replace with, which is letter E. And finally, the third argument is gonna be the variable, comma, and the variable. Sorry. And let's put here the semicolon. Okay, so let's try to run this program and we will see the run sample. So as you can see, the character I was changed into letter E. Okay? So another example using this replace function. I want to change my three characters into Z. So I want to replace these characters into Z in a variable name. Okay, let's save this program. As you can see, the Francis was changed into a name France. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope you learned something from my video. Thank you everyone and God bless.